traffic out right now, but this car is insanely good to drive. And like I've said before, being back in a manual car is just great and something I really missed. Even if it's not as fast at the drag strip and it's not as fast in a straight line or top speed or anything else, it really doesn't matter, because the driving experience it gives you is at least 5 times better than an auto. It just really is. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little inside look on what it is like to drive the ZR1 from my perspective, although unfortunately all the roads in PA are total garbage, so most of what you hear, most of the great audio, is rocks hitting the car and going over bumps, because in PA, to fix a pothole, what you do is you pour rocks in the pothole and then you drive away. Really, it doesn't work at all, but that's PennDOT for you. So anyway, here we got the cars in the lineup, looking good. Always fun to do this, especially for pictures on Instagram. Follow me if you don't. You will notice, astute viewers will notice, that one car is missing, and that is the C8 Z06. Now, if you are new to the channel, and if you came here for the ZR1 or came here during the time of the ZR1, you might not even know that I do have a 1,000 horsepower C8 Z06. Now that car is at RPM, and at this point, you know, they were doing some last minute stuff, tuning it for the call out here coming up on April 29th. Our YouTube call outs are like big, huge, fun drag racing events. They were making sure everything is good to go for that event, and hopefully I can run 8s. Now at this point in the process, they are essentially storing the car for me because I don't really have the space. No point in bringing it here if it's just gonna go to the call out anyway and kind of sit. And let's be honest, I'm kind of preoccupied with the new orange Vet. That is the story on the C8Z. It is still at RPM, and hopefully it will be running some killer times at the call out coming up here in 28 days. Let's move on to the Corrado, the other car that is not in the lineup, because quite frankly, there's no way in hell I'm going to be bothered to bring it out of its corner. A little bit hard to get it in and out of there, but you know, the Corrado build, in the last garage update I said that I would start on it, and people were like, no fucking way, you've been saying that for 8 months, you're not gonna do it. And sure as shit, boys, I did it. I got the Corrado out. We replaced the suspension on it. It now rides at a decent height. Still a low car, but not stupid low, slammed on its ball sack, hence the plate. And we got new tires for it, and we put a stock set of Corrado Speedline wheels on it. Corrado build has officially begun. You know, it has been started, it's underway, and I've got Tarmacs for it on the way. 1552 tarmac wheels in a 17-inch size. Gonna look really, really good on the car. It's gonna look sick. Obviously have to get new tires too, but the Corrado is just kind of waiting for those wheels to come in. I'm really not sure how many viewers are interested in the Corrado, but it does get some love. I mean, the fact that Corrado-based videos get like still 180 to 200,000 views, I think it's pretty good. And the alternative is cars like that. And here I have this thing that I got for $1,000. Every video I make on the Corrado is still gonna get me like 800 bucks. So it's a great investment. And when you run a business, that is the winning formula, which a lot of people don't understand still to this day. People just don't get it. But the YouTube channel is a business. It's my passion first, and I love cars, but also it has to make me money because this is now my job. Let's move on to the lineup in the front, starting with the little quad over here, the little blue guy. This is my 2008 Yamaha Raptor 700R. Made a few videos already, primarily videos in the winter time, but I'm gonna make a lot more this summer because I have so much fun riding this quad. It's rear drive, which is my favorite, if you can't tell. Everything here is rear drive except for that. You can rip donuts. That is the Rippin' Donuts machine. That little thing, I love it. The big one, the one that everybody really wants to talk about, and that is the 2019 ZR1. I have one of the only manuals in existence. I think there are a couple out now, but the manual builds were on constraint from the factory for the first like month and a half of production. So I got this one kind of as a special build, and here it is. You'll notice this is the Sebring Orange release package. I haven't made a video dedicated to talking about all the features and everything of the car and the price and everything. I still think I'm gonna do that at some point, but the Sebring Orange package gives you the orange paint, the orange accents on the aero, the orange brake calipers, the orange contrast stitching, as you can see, and the Sebring Orange is the color that the car was released in. So that was like, everybody was like, holy shit, this is the ZR1. You know how, like when a car is released in a certain color, that kind of becomes the color of the car. For instance, the AMG GTR in that green. Like everybody, when you think of an AMG GTR, everybody thinks of that light green because that was the release color. Well, I feel like that's the deal with the ZR1. You'll notice I still have a dealer plate on the vehicle, and in PA, you actually get your license plate right away when you buy a car, as long as your dealership is on the PennDOT network or whatever it is. Now, I haven't done the paperwork yet. Reason being is because I'm waiting for the new car to come in, then I don't have to do all that shit twice. Let me talk about that car for a second, because a lot of people want to know, are you really getting a second one? And the answer is yes. So I have this one, which is VIN number 4, and I'm pretty sure this is the one I'm going to sell when the new one comes in. Got this one with the small wing because I was gonna do top speed stuff with it, drag racing and all that good shit. And the second one coming in is the full ZTK car with the big wing, the more aggressive aero. Other than that though, the car is the same. Ordered two of the same car, but that's because I'm out of my mind. I'm totally in love with my ZR1. I mean, the interior on this thing is the coolest part. I like it better than the Mclaren interior. I do. I think the orange stitching is fantastic. The colors and the Alcantara everywhere. It's fucking amazing. And of course, as again, I talk about all the time, being back in a stick car is special to me. Just look at the gloss carbon everywhere. The competition seats and the diamond stitch roof. Oh my God. Moving on to the 570. This is a car that I really love. You guys know I talk about it all the time because I have fallen head over heels in love with it. It's not even a car that I really plan to buy. I always wanted a supercar, like either a Lambo or some type of McLaren, but I lost the 100,000 subscriber bet with Troy, and they offered me such a good deal. I couldn't say no. And since then, we've become best pals. I choose this car to go everywhere. I drive it every day. I've driven it in the snow, in the rain, as you guys have seen. It's like the perfect driving vehicle. And I know people get tired of hearing about it. I feel like it's almost as good as you can possibly make a car. The seating position and the visibility, it's completely optimal. Like it's exactly where you would want it to be. The engine in the back provides for the right feel of the car overall. It's insanely quick for a stock car. You guys have seen what it does to modified vehicles, what it did to a Huracan, what it does to all kinds of different shit on the road. And it's not even expensive. People think, like, a lot of people have already said, like, well, that's twice the price of the Corvette. This was $140,000-ish dollars. This was $180,000. It's really not that far apart. And if you can afford 140, I'm guessing you can afford 180. I'll give you a quick rundown of the best parts. Number one, it looks great. Looks like a supercar. People love it. Turns heads everywhere. It's got the doors that go up. Really important. It's really practical. It's cheaper than its competition, and it's faster than its competition. Of course, we have the Duramax over here, which I can't even begin to get into because it's far too much to talk about. I essentially started my YouTube channel. I actually started my YouTube channel way back in the day with a 92 Chevy. Now, most of those videos I deleted because looking back, they were terrible. At this point, I wish I hadn't because, like, who cares now? I don't care about being embarrassed. But they were pretty bad. So I started my channel with trucks. And then shortly after I got my second gas truck, I bought the Duramax, and it's been here ever since. And I bought this truck completely 100% stock. It went from stock to this in 3 years, and it's had a lot of different like versions of the build in between. Recap before we get into selling the McLaren: the Corrado staying for a while. I will sell it eventually. The truck never going anywhere. The ZR1 will be sold when the new one comes in, and the Raptor I'll probably keep. For the McLaren, as I just got done talking about how much I love it and how perfect it is, I have been thinking about maybe in a couple months here for the summer, trading in the McLaren on a 720 or waiting for the LT version of the 570. Really tough decision because, as I just got done saying 18 million times, I love the 570, so an LT version of that would just be that much better. But also the 720 is the big brother and I think is faster and offers some cool stuff as well. It would also be a different car. You know, yes, it would be an LT version of this. That's like the LT version of this would be like going from a Z06 to a ZR1. It's pretty different, but it's the same car underneath. Getting a 720 would be completely different. Although, to be honest, all McLarens are very similar anyway. I have been really strongly considering trading in here shortly. Let me know what you think down below. I would like a 720. They're so fucking fast. Hope you enjoyed this upload. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Happy Easter. Have a great night.